Hey everybody, Ted Wright here. Welcome to another episode of Tiger Talk. I'm excited out of my mind to have live from Los Angeles, Trey Keeler, class of 2008. Trey, thanks for joining us on Tiger Talk.
Yeah, no problem. Excited to be here.
Yeah, man, we're so excited to be there. So, y'all, I'm just going to say Trey works at Riot Games. If you don't know Riot, that's League of Legends, baby. He's been there for a while. I'm going to get into all this. I'm super excited. But Trey, let's start at the beginning, right? Let's start where it shows up. Like, where'd you grow up and what was high school like?
I grew up in Midlothian, Virginia, which is right outside Richmond in Chesterfield County. I went to James River High School, public school. I enjoyed my time in high school. But for me, I was really excited to go to Hampden-Sydney and sort of escape my parents and kind of do my own thing in college, which was, an exciting time in my life.
Cool. So since you mentioned Hampden-Sydney, let's get right into it. How did you choose Hampden-Sydney? You had lots of different options. You had lots of different places you could go.
Yeah, lots of different options. I was looking at big state schools and small liberal arts schools, and I'd always kind of been more interested in the smaller environment, liberal arts environment. I had a lot of family connections at Bridgewater College that were trying to push me to go there, and I kind of wanted to do my own thing. And Hampden-Sydney was an awesome alternative to that, a different liberal arts college experience. And the game changer for me was really going out and taking a tour. When I took a tour at Hampden-Sydney and met people and kind of really felt the energy and the hospitality of everybody there, it felt much different than all the other college tours I was taking.
Cool. All right. So I already gave it away, right? Trey's a very big deal at Riot Games. So tell us, what's your title at Riot Games and what do you do there?
Yeah. So I run brand content and partnerships for the LCS. So this is going to be a lot of explaining about the world of video games and esports, but the LCS is the League of Legends Championship Series. Which is the most popular esport in North America, and funny enough, it's actually the third most popular sport, including basketball, football, baseball, when it comes to 18 to 34-year-olds. So you're probably asking yourself, video games as a sport, that sounds kind of weird and out there, but we've kind of, esports and video games has progressed to this point where we are selling out arenas. We're taking our teams all around the world. Right now, there are about 1,000 professional players that play League of Legends in different regional leagues, very similar to sort of soccer around the world. And the LCS is one of those 12 leagues that I basically help run all our sports sponsorships and marketing partnerships. So that's brands like Bud Light, Verizon, Samsung, Red Bull, all these brand partners that work with us. And I basically help work on co-marketing campaigns and various different sponsorship opportunities for our partners. I never imagined that I'd live in California and Los Angeles. I never imagined I'd work at a video game company, much less in esports. I mean, esports was really nascent at that time. It didn't even really exist. It wasn't on the radar for anybody. Through Hampden-Sydney, some people graduate Hampden-Sydney and they go to direct line to the job that they want, right? Mine was much more of a zigzaggy path, lost in the woods. And a lot of that came out of when I graduated. I graduated in the midst of the recession, right? So a lot of opportunities were kind of closing. There weren't a lot of jobs out there. And through that, I had to sort of struggle and hustle and find different ways and do different things. So I actually ended up going to grad school in Australia. I do nothing with that degree now. It's a master's degree in international relations. But that basically made my resume look interesting to recruiters at the next go around when I got back. I ended up actually going to advertising school after that, and through that was able to secure some really cool internships, and one thing led to another, and kind of an opportunity opened at Riot Games really at the time when that company was really taking off. And esports was really getting big. League of Legends was sort of at its peak, and so I kind of really was in the right place, right time.
So, one of the things about that we pride ourselves on at Hampden-Sydney is about, liberal arts and being able to pivot. So you graduate into recession, like, oh no. So, what are the skills that you learned at Hampden-Sydney that you're able to apply to this? Say, I know, Australia, graduate school, let's apply for scholarships.
Yeah, I mean, I think that liberal arts, to me, I mean, there's an ongoing debate in education about liberal arts versus like a highly specialized degree, right? And I think for me as a liberal arts education, basically at the end of the day, it makes you kind of semi-versed in a lot of things, right? And it allows you the flexibility and adaptability to sort of both engage with different types of people with all kinds of different backgrounds, which was what really kind of led me to traveling and exploring the world. I did a lot of studying abroad and things like that early on after Hampden-Sydney. But it also like opened up my mind to different opportunities when it comes to career, whether that was like studying philosophy or studying art or politics, things like that. I basically got my toes wet in a lot of different things.
Cool. So esports. So what's the next 3 years for esports like? I mean, with COVID, that's got to be really interesting opportunity for you here in North America. Everybody's super into sports still.
I think for maybe some for Hampden-Sydney students or people thinking about going to Hampden-Sydney, esports might be ubiquitous and be a part of their world and something that they understand deeply and engage with all the time, watching things on Twitch and YouTube. I think for some older folks, people my age and up, it might be a what? Scratching your head sort of moment, right? But esports is really interesting because it's democratized the basketball court, it's democratized the football field, right? So, no matter how much I try to practice basketball, I can never be LeBron James, right? There's just a physical barrier to me doing that. But for a lot of young kids, you can actually be very, very good at video games and actually compete at a professional level amongst the best in the world. It's been a bright future. I think the whole COVID situation has been interesting as well. Not that it's, I'm not trying to say that we're succeeding over this, what is it, a national tragedy and a really horrible situation. But, esports is not dependent on playing in a physical environment. It's not dependent on a lot of these things that are really holding traditional sports back. So while, sponsors have been removing dollars from traditional sports, they've been reinvesting in esports because we are one of the few sports that's still up and running and has been working throughout the COVID situation.
That makes total sense. So we started this and we were talking about sort of how you got to Riot. So what are you doing now at Riot? Like what consumes your day, your month?
So right now, I'm pretty heavily involved in the marketing, day-to-day marketing of the League of Legends Championship Series. But a majority of my time is spent on sort of our sponsorship and partnership strategy. Both identifying potential brand partners that are a good fit for our audience and really lend a boost to the league. And, we've been really, really fortunate to get a lot of those AAA brands, the Red Bulls, the Bud Lights, the Hondas of the world.
So how do you give us an example of something that you learned at Hampden-Sydney or something you learned how to do to Hampden-Sydney or something, and let you do redefine sport in North America? You go back to and rely on anything? What's up with that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that you learn at Hampden-Sydney, I know a lot of people harp on it, but it really is the Rhetoric program and learning how to write. No matter how good your ideas are, if you can't get your ideas out there into the world and capture those in a 1-page, 2-page brief or a document, no one's going to take you seriously. They're going to tune out.
All right, so let's have a little fun here. Let's play a game, gaming. So let's do the lightning round. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, Comic-Con or PAX?
So I've never been to Comic-Con, but I've been to PAX a lot of times. So I'd have to go with PAX.
All right, Biggie or Tupac?
Well, now that I live in Los Angeles, I guess I'm going to have to say Tupac.
Excellent. Mountain Dew Code Red or Mountain Dew Pitch Black?
I've never had Mountain Dew Pitch Black, so I'm going to have to go with Code Red.
Code Red, all right. So what is your favorite character to watch being played by all these pros, that you're working with every day? What's the best character to watch being played? Well,
so the meta, League of Legends is a game that's updated every couple of weeks, right? With a new patch. And so different characters go up and down in strength each patch. So it's really less like who's my favorite character to watch and more like what pros do I really like to follow. And I've been a really big Double Lift fan for years. He's one of the best pros in the LCS. He's an ADC, which is a marksman sniper type character. He's the guy you want to keep alive, and then he comes in really fast and gets the kills.
Cool. All right, excellent question. And last one, Cheetos or Doritos?
Oh, I'm on Team Cheetos big time.
Team Cheetos.
Spicy Cheetos.
Ooh, spicy Cheetos. All right, and my 17-year-old will want to know, when you do the Flamin' Hot, do you do Flamin' Hot Limon or just Flamin' Hot?
Classic.
Classic. A true Hampden-Sydney fan. Classic Flaming Hot Cheetos. All right, so last really opportunity here. What's the message that you want to leave with, what other folks are thinking about, Hampden-Sydney or other stuff like, what's what should they really know?
To be honest, like I think it's really not to overthink it, right? Like enjoy your time at Hampden-Sydney, get exposed to as many different things as you can, because you really can't plan your life out, right? Like you gotta kind of have to roll with the punches and see what happens. And I think being at Hampden-Sydney and having that liberal arts education sort of prepared me to dodge and weave as things kind of came at me, right?
Right.
And it's allowed me to kind of take a bunch of steps that don't seem to have any interconnectivity and sort of follow that path. And, now I work for a video game company. It's something that I never imagined, and was so far from the realm of possibility at Hampden-Sydney. To looking back at it now, I think just kind of roll with the punches and sort of hang with intention and see what happens.
Hey, Trey Keeler, thank you very much for being here. The first stop on our West Coast alumni swing. We appreciate you being with us today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, man.